Okay, so today's prophetic word is going to be a breaking forth part 2. A breaking forth part 2. Hey, okay. So where we're going to start at is we're going to start from Judah is speaking to Tamar. Hey, so Tamar's husband, Er, has died, Aka, as well as Tamar's brother-in-law, Onah, Aka, who was supposed to give her offspring, but he has died as well. Hey, due to wickedness, Aka, because they were wicked before the Lord. Now, we talked about how Judah, which is the father, which is Tamar's father-in-law, we talked about how Judah, in turn, once Er and Onan passed, once they died, once they passed away, and hey, Judah tells Tamar to return to her father's house. Return to her father's house and wait for Shelah to grow up, Akaye, which is his youngest son and his last son that he has left, Akaye. So when Judah tells Tamar to go back to her father's house, Akaye, and just wait, Tamar is left as a widow, Akaye. So we have it here. Give me 1 second. So when Judah tells Tamar, Akaye, to return to her father's house, Tamar is left without offspring, Akaye. Remember, her husband, Er, he had died, Akaye. So Tamar is left without offspring, which means in turn she's left without support. Okay. So we talked about how, the duty of a Levirate marriage, their laws being honored. Okay. How a man is supposed to have offspring, and if not, his next of kin is supposed to, go into his wife and make offspring. We talked about that. Hey, so okay, so in turn here, and I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, I'm gonna pause. Okay. So we're talking about Judah has abandoned Tamar, Akaye. He has abandoned Tamar because he done told her to go back to her father's house, Akaye. Leaves her as a widow, Akaye. And Tamar just sitting over here waiting on Shelah to grow up, Akaye. So now we are getting around to Judah. So Judah's wife is Shua. So Judah is the father, Shua is the mother. So now Judah, his wife, Shua's, her daughter dies. So Judah's wife, she has a daughter. Her daughter dies. So it's talking about in the course of time. So now time has passed. Now, think about this. Tamar just back, at her father's house as a widow, waiting for Shelah to grow up. And time is just going on. Time is just passing. Her life is just passing her by. So it says in Genesis chapter 38, verse 12, in the course of time, the wife of Judah, Shua's daughter, died. When Judah was comforted, he went up to Timnah to his sheep shearers, he and his friend Hira, the Adulamite. Okay, pause. So now, long story short, time to pass. We talked about Tamar just sitting back waiting. Time has gone past, and now Judah is going up to Timnah with his friend Hira, the Adulamite. Okay. So now Judah and his friend Hira, they about to go up to Timnah, okay, to sheep shear, to shear some sheep. Okay. Yes, I say. So it talks about what we're going to get into. It talks about that Tamar hears that Judah is getting ready to be in Timnah. Okay. So it says in Genesis chapter 38, verse 12, in the course of time, the wife of Judah, Shua's daughter, died. When Judah was comforted, he went up to Timnah to his sheep shearers, he and his friend Hira, the Adulamite. And when Tamar was told, your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear his sheep, she took off her widow's garments and covered herself with a veil, wrapping herself up, and sat at the entrance to Enam, which is on the road to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown up, and she had not been given to him in marriage. When Judah saw her, pause. So now Tamar then heard that Judah is getting ready to go up to Timnah to shear his sheep. Okay. So now Tamar has took off her widow's garment, and she done dressed herself up. She wraps herself up. Okay. She disguises herself. She wraps herself up with the veil. Okay. So a veil is a covering. Okay. So she all wrapped up, her face and everything covered, and she's in disguise. She has disguised herself. And it talks about how she sits at the entrance to Anam. It says, and it talks about how she saw that Shelah, so by this time, so much time to pass now, Shelah grown. So it talks about how Tamar had seen that Shelah, like, he grown now. Like, so now Tamar must have thought to herself, Judah must be trying to play with me. Okay, because I've been sitting back here waiting all this time for Shelah to grow up. Now I can see that Shelah grown up. He grown. But time is still passing. And, life is just going by. So Tamar takes off her widow clothes. She dresses herself up, wraps herself up. She disguises herself. She puts on a veil. And it says in Genesis chapter 38, verse 15, when Judah saw her, it says, when Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. He turned to her at the roadside and said, come, let me come in to you. For he did not know she was his daughter-in-law. She said, what will you give me that you may come into me? Pause. Y'all, Tamar done disguised herself up as a prostitute. And she done sat at the entrance of Enam, Akaye. It talks about how when Judah is passing by her, he does not recognize her. Hey, he does not know it's his daughter-in-law. He just thinking she's just like a regular random prostitute. Hey, so it's talking about how he asks her, come, let me come into you. So he's giving her an invitation. Come, let me have sex with you. Like, Akaye. So he's giving her an invitation to have sex with her. And it says, for he did not know she was his daughter-in-law. For he did not know she was his daughter-in-law. She said, what will you give me that you may come into me? So when Judah is giving her an invitation, saying like he want to have sex with her because he thinking she a prostitute, she asking him for payment. What will you give me? What's the payment? What you gonna pay me? Hey, so it says, what will you give me that you may come into me? He answered, I will send you a young goat from the flock. And she said, if you give me a plague until you send it. Pause. So